here.
You're actually not. This is not.
It's not a trap. It's always a trap.
It's not a trap. It's honestly, you got something pretty significant right. Because you asked me, is this the time? You feel like this is the time we're going to see a deep fake that could affect things.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. When we talked about the elections, kind of in that context. Yeah.
And I said, I think so, but maybe not. Mm-hmm. Didn't I?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You weren't sure that it would happen, but it seems like we're on that directive.
Well, there is a deep fake out there, and it's not necessarily affecting the election. This isn't a good deep fake, but it came out yesterday and was making the rounds, and it scared a lot of people. Here it is, cut 3.
The illegal Russian offensive has been swift, callous, and brutal. It's barbaric. Putin's illegal occupation of Kyiv and the impending Chinese blockade of Taiwan has created a two-front national security crisis that requires more troops than the volunteer military can supply. I have received guidance from General Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, that the recommended way forward will be to invoke the Selective Service Act, as is my authority as president. The first to be called in a sequence determined by national lottery will be men and women whose 20th birthday falls during calendar year 2023. Remember, you're not sending your sons and daughters to war. You're sending them to freedom. God bless our troops and God bless Ukraine.
I mean, you're right. That's not even a good one.
No, it's not a good one. And it's still convincing enough. The only thing that is really wrong with this is the mouth isn't quite synced exactly. But more importantly, it's too fast. This is based on him, 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. He's not like, right. In the circus
he said all the words in the right order. That was the only thing there.
Correct.
Stuck out.
And really, that is. If he would have sounded more like today, and it would have been slower, and it would have been like, and you got to go out in the window.
And he threw in like a Bananas Foster reference in the middle or something.
And like my pop used to tell me all the time, son, you're not going to war, send somebody else. Then it would have been believable. But this is the kind of thing that is going to happen. This is the kind of thing that's going to happen. And it's going.
All praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham Ha Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders which rule great millstone well. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure into the end. Shalom wa abba. All right, just as you heard Glenn Beck saying that this thing will happen when there's a draft. Okay, there will be a day where there is a draft. Okay, and it's prophesied. 2 Ezra 16, verse 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands perish of famine. All right? Because these armies of the world are gathering together to fight our Lord and Savior, Yahawashi. So they're trying to collect as many lost souls they can to put in their military, to die in that military after you take that device, the MOTB, the implantable micro CHIP, which they're going to make mandatory for buying and selling. This is from, I believe this is NBC News military section. Every branch of the military is struggling to make its 2022 recruiting goals, officials say. So they're at a record low in recruitments in every branch of the military. All right, this is 2022, and remember, we're just in the beginning of 2023. Today is February 28th, which tomorrow is going to be March 1st, the year 2023, that the year that we hope Yahweh Sham, Yahawashi fulfills all these prophecies. All right? But they're going to send these men that are gathered to fight Yahawashi, women and even children, because when they do the draft, when you go back into history, they were even drafting children as young as, which they would be adults according to Yahweh's law, but Yahweh's law says that a man cannot go to war until he's 20. But Esau, he'll draft people as young as 12, probably even younger. Okay? And he's going to put you over there into the Middle East, and you're going to die there by fire. Okay? That's what's prophesied to happen when Yahawashi returns. Okay? 2nd Ezra 13, it says, verse 8, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together, and they're going to be gathered through a draft. Okay? It says, to subdue him, who is the him, Yahawashi. Yahawashi is coming from the heavens in the so-called UFOs, and the angels follow him. It says, to subdue him, we're so afraid. So when they see this, they're going to be terrified. These ones that are sent into the military to go fight Yahawashi in the valley of Jehoshaphat. And yet, they're fight, because the Lord is going to put it in them to trust that technology, and they're going to fight against Yahawashi only to be destroyed. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Which there's a image here with so-called UFOs, and you can see the fire coming down and destroying the cities at the bottom. All right, this is a biblical image with exactly what I'm reading, but instead of city, think of men, women, all right, children. It says, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, all the soldiers that are going to be drafted to go fight Esau's battle. Esau Edom is the so-called white man, the red devil the Bible speaks of. And he's made pretty much a new world order where all the nations are confederate to the so-called white man and his beast system. All right, which is America, the European Union, which they have their military as NATO, which they have the heathens nations under the UN. All right, and the Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which have been scattered throughout the world in slavery, which Yahawashi, the one I'm reading of, the true Messiah, as it is written, a so-called black man, all right, he's coming to save his people, the Israelites, from their oppressor, the Edomites. And he's going to take them by violence. And he's going to use these vehicles, the so-called UFOs, to do it. All right? It says, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. All right, because all them that are drafted to go into that war, they're going to be microchipped. All right, with the MOTB, the implantable microchip, which they're going to make mandatory for buying and selling. Okay, and they're going to mark you, and you're going to die by fire, by the chariot fire. And them that take that device over here in Babylon, in America, all right, they're going to die because nuclear missiles are going to destroy America. At the same time, the armies of the world are destroyed at the coming of Yahawashi. That's in Isaiah 14. Oh, yep, there it is, verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. So Yahawashi, when he's coming on the so-called UFOs, all right, you can see in this image how beneath it the earth is being destroyed. Well, at the same time as Yahawashi's return, nuclear missiles are going to destroy America. 200 million nuclear missiles. On top of that, you're going to have chariot fire. All right? Also in what you know as the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Yahweh's Mashapat, where Yahweh will judge the nation's armies. And then he's going to dissolve America by 200 million nuclear missiles. It says, Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. And that's why it says Yahawashi has many crowns, because he's taken all authority away from these other nations. It says in Revelation 19:11, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And that white horse is that so-called UFO. So he's coming in glory and great power. And he that sat upon him was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself, which he's coming in such a magnificent way, we don't really know what to expect. You know, even the prophets, we have an idea, but when he comes, we're even going to be astonished. It says, his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. All right, that many crowns, it goes right along with what we just read in Isaiah 14, that when the Lord comes, he's going to take the authority from these other nations and give it to the Israelites. All right, and that's why you're going to have a new heaven and a new earth. You're going to have the earth under new management, under a new nation managing everything. Right now it's the wicked, the so-called white man, the red devil. He rules the world in wickedness. Soon it will be the Israelite ruling in righteousness, according to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahawashi. Revelation 21 verse 1, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, from the first heaven and the first earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. All right, so there's no more melting pot. All the nations are going to go back after they're done with slavery. Every nation got 1,000 years of slavery, and every nation except for Esau, all right, are going to go back to their land. In the back of the Bible, you could see there's a map. All right, there's a map where the lands were divided according to Israel. And all the heathen nations, they got their piece of land. And they're going to go back to that land, and they're going to be tributaries to Israel forever, because we're going to be that ruling class. All right, the so-called white man, the wicked, Esau Edom, he's going to go into extinction for what he has done. That's the prophecy. All right, for his violence against Jacob, all the amount of Esau shall be cut off by slaughter, which is going to make him extinct. All right, but we're going to have a new heaven and a new earth. The elect are going to be ruling, and the new earth is the heathen. Instead of ruling over us, we're going to have them under us. All praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahawashi, Ba'asham Ha Rakah Kudash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders, which rule great millstone while, and shalom To the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, may you endure into the end. Shalom. Wa Abba Babal.